The other day I had a really bad day where it was one of those times where you're so frustrated where your head starts to hurt. You start thinking the absolute worst is going to happen to you. You feel like the world is on its last day. There is no tomorrow. I had one of those days. A lot of us have some of these days from time to time because a small inconvenience, a very uncalled for event happens, something that truly irritates us like nothing really ever does. And I had one of these days and I was truly like spiraling into negativity, into, you could say like the abyss, into darkness, thinking the worst. And I've been here before and I've started to realize that when I feel this way, I'm being tested by God. I'm being tested the most, right? On your worst day, on the day you're struggling the most, it's like God is testing you to see how much can you really take. And this isn't the first time I've been through this. And if you're listening and you've been through things like this before, we've all been through bad things, of course. From time to time, you start to realize that, like, okay, I know how to sort of deal with frustration. I know how to handle this. I know how to go along with it and to neutralize this feeling that I am currently witnessing, that I am currently experiencing in my life, which is this complete rage. I wouldn't even say depression, but this rage, this anger, this fire within you. And it's like your mind is basically destroying you, making you think that this small inconvenience, this problem that you are dealing with, will never go away. And it completely ruins your day. And the solution I found to this is like simply just trying my best to cool off and honestly just getting a good night rest of sleep. My head was hurting so bad the other day, and that's literally the reason why I'm making this video is because, I'm simply just reflecting on my life and how I felt the other day. I'm not going to say exactly what it was that really irritated me, but it really wasn't even that big of a deal. It was just a slight inconvenience, wasted time on something, and it just really irritated me. And, I thought like, you know, life could be worse. Things could be worse. I could be in a worse situation. And I think when we're going through these hard times and we're going through these struggles, when we have a truly bad day like this, you seriously just have to like rest and sleep it off. I know that's like so generic to say, right? So cut and dry, like, but you truly do just have to like sleep it off because when you wake up in the morning, you're relaxed, you are re-energized, and you can sort of step away from this anger and it kind of just cools yourself in a way where like simply trying to sit here on that day of anger and trying to just like tell yourself to chill out, like it's not going to work. And I've started to realize the times where I'm super frustrated like this, I am slowly becoming better at controlling it, but also to not put myself in this doomsday mindset where I'm like the world is ending, because that's truly how I feel sometimes when I'm in this headspace. It's like I feel like there is no tomorrow. My brain makes me think that everything is over. Nothing is going to work out tomorrow, and it won't work out the week after that, 2 weeks after that, a month, thinking that everything is over, there is no tomorrow. And your mind truly does play with you. I mean, you could also say like, oh, that's like negative energy. That's the devil playing with your brain, with your mind, making you making you fall into despair, into agony and all this. And I'd say there is some truth into that, but we don't have to be spiritual here. But I found that those days I start to spiral like that. I just need to rest it off and realize that I have things. We are still alive. There still is a tomorrow. The only time it is truly over is when you die, and you will never know when that time is coming. But, you know, we have to realize that things could literally be worse. No matter what situation you are in, no matter how bad this problem that you occurred, no matter how extreme it is or minuscule, whatever, there is always a tomorrow. There's always time to fix it. There is always time to improve, and you are still alive. You still have a roof over your head. You still have a heartbeat. You are still breathing. And it's easier to say than to actually be done, right? Because when we're all frustrated, when we're all angry, it is harder to conquer that emotion, that feeling, because you're so filled with rage. And I understand. We all understand. We've all been there before. But from time to time, you have to learn how to calm yourself down, how to relax, how to realize that, okay, there are better things, okay? Like, yes, this thing frustrated me so bad, and I'm super pissed off about it. And I was the other day. This was only 2 days ago. I was super pissed off. Didn't even upload nothing. I just realized I need to go to sleep. I need to sleep this off before I crash out even more. And that's just a way of me understanding myself. And a lot of us have to just simply sit back, analyze ourselves, know what our triggers are, and know what really helps us. A lot of us have, or most of us have, different outlets for how to calm ourselves down, how to put out the fire, put out the flame of frustration, of anger. But we have to know what our outlets are. And then we also have to turn to the brighter side. I know it's so easy to say that, even if you're mad, right? It's so easy to say, like, oh, just be happy, bro. Just look to the positive side. But that's why I say get a good night's rest of sleep, and then turn to the brighter side. Realize that things could be a lot worse. You could be in a shittier position. You could be dead, right? You could not be, you could literally not be alive. So we have to cherish these moments, learn from our mistakes, learn from these problems that we occur, and realize that it always makes us stronger. Think about the times where you went through a super hard scenario. You got reality checked. You got humbled in a certain way. You got caught doing something bad and it humbled you, right? Every time those type of situations happened, you learned. You learn not to do that anymore, for the most part, if you're not an ignorant fuck, right? But for the most part, for most of us, when we go through bad things, we learn. Maybe we double back on it. Maybe we relapse and do that bad decision again. But eventually we will learn. We will learn that these decisions that we are making are not good for us. And it'll humble us in a way where we will not turn to doing that act, doing that decision ever again. And those are the bad times in our life. Let's say like you got caught as a young teenager, selling drugs or something like that. You went to jail. You realize that, okay, I'm not going to do that again. And this can play for any type of scenario. I'm just kind of riffing here. And sometimes you may go back to that again. You may relapse, like I said, and it takes a few times for us sometimes to learn from our mistakes. But these challenging times, these bad days, these bad scenarios that you are occurring, that you are dealing with, realize that these times are only to make you stronger, to only humble you, and for you as yourself, as an individual, as a regular person, as we all are not perfect at all. We all have our own issues. We are not perfect at all. That you as a regular person have to go through these scenarios to learn from your mistakes, and that it could always be worse. Life could always be worse. You could be dead. And we have to turn to the brighter side, right? So if you're having a bad day, it's okay. Just smile now. But truly, you just got to sleep it off and just realize that life could truly, truly be a lot worse right now. Like I said, you could be dead for all that matters. But yeah. See you guys in the next video. Peace out.